Du Bois's thought about double consciousness and how we wear a veil and that sort of, and I wanted to just get an idea of you, if you could speak about these pairings, about the ways in which the pairings play up in this and what we should glean from that.
This is, by the way, this is like the most intellectual conversation to ever happen at like a J. Cole concert. That's the vibe I'm getting. Like, it's so crazy to kind of bring it here.
But we're ready because it's Black excellence and it's how.
We're not fishing for that. Look, this movie, it was important for me to say before this movie came out that it is not specifically about race, because I knew after Get Out people would be looking to dissect the race in this movie and how it's addressed. This movie is about duality and this idea that every time, however we define the word us, for there to be an us, there has to be a them. And I think one of the reasons this movie has has an expanding and expansive element to it, where you can kind of apply it to many different conversations, is because us can be anything. It can be, us can be your family, us can be your class, us can be your country. I use a lot of United States imagery in this movie. And I wanted to explore the fact that when you have us, you have a them. And the way we think about them tends to be less than the way we think about us. And this is one of these innately human pieces of duality that I consider a social demon. It's something that if we don't address, it's going to lead us towards committing atrocity together. So that's a starting point for your conversations. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm coming from.
And so when you think about this sort of idea of Jeremiah 11:11, which I believe says something about sort of evil, and that there's evil that's harking within all of us, is that again this idea around sort of the us, that there's the two sides to all of us, if you will?
Yeah, I think my role as an artist is to point out the evil in humanity. Because I believe conversation is the greatest tool we have against our evils and the evils of the world. So when I see a missing piece of the conversation about the evil that is in our DNA, I want to make that point. I want to do it kind of mischievously. I want to do it in a fun way. I want to do it in a way that is, will attract a group of people to come and experience it together, and to make noise together, and to feel that together, because I think it helps arm us with a new vocabulary for the conversation. So that's kind of I reference the Bible and this idea of spirituality in both of these movies because I love to deal with the duality of the science versus religion conundrum and kind of point out these and invent these abominations that comes when we try to reconcile the two of them together. So the biblical reference, among many things, is about that, and it is about that this is a story of the rising of a Messiah.
And that Messiah, that's a great segue to let's looking at exploring that Messiah, Lupita. supporting roles, and you've gotten great accolades for that. So it was wondering, what was it like for you to sort of experience a script where you're the central figure, and what preparation was that?
First of all, I just want to say that this is definitely my first time at Howard, and I'm so... And it's also my first time visiting an HBCU, so it's a big honor to be here with this film, with these two, with Jordan Peele. Oh yes, I know that one. So, thank you. I feel I'm filled with gratitude for the journey that I've been on in the last 6 years since I started being a professional actor, with 12 Years a Slave and all the accolades that came with the recognition. What it afforded me was the gift of choice, and I could really sit back and think about what I wanted to lend my artistry to. And I always wanted to do stuff that mattered, stuff that challenged me, stuff that made me grow. And so I've chosen carefully, and that's why you've seen me in the movies that I've chosen thus far. Shout out to Black Panther. It's been a long time coming, and I feel like the stars aligned for my first lead role to be with Jordan Peele. Because I watched his film Get Out 5 times in 1 month, and I was just taken by his precision, his vision, his inner compass that helped him tell that story. What I feel is, what he talks about in that film, the fact that he makes racism the monster that it is in a horror film, and makes it a journey that is so exciting to go on, and makes you think. He really trusts his audience to bring their intelligence to the watching of a movie. I felt so respected watching that film, so dignified as an audience member, because he just gave us something expecting the best of us. And so, when he came to me and offered me this part, I said yes for a number of reasons. To work with him, but also because he gave me 2 well-rounded, 3-dimensional women to sink my teeth into. And with this film, again, he's tackling issues that are so intrinsic to the human experience, and he's doing so with swag. And, and both roles were such a departure from anything I'd done to date, and they stretched me as an artist and let me grow. So for all those reasons, I feel like this is how it was meant to be, and I'm very proud.